Welcome back, everyone. We're out of retirement. After a week without doing this, we decided that Stephanie and I could not be away from each other for too long, so we were back in each other's loving arms, embracing at least for another week or so. We'll see how long this lasts. This is the HappyCast. I'm Andrew, as always, joined by Stephanie. Dylan is currently in a rhino reservation, currently helping with a community effort to preserve rhinos and protect them from poachers and whatnot. So Dylan is a man of travel, so good luck out there, Dylan. We hope to see you here soon, because as far as we know, you're still on the payroll, still getting paid for all of this. And Stephanie, as
he's still working but he also is racing, and he told us, but we did not cheer him on because we forgot at Sufferfest 50K.
We forgot intentionally, because that's one of the worst races in Texas. So
stop.
No, not it being held. Just as far as torture, it's like nighttime habanero, just constantly. So,
but people want to go faster because it's a 50K.
Because it's a faster course too, which also sucks. So you just blow up, or you vomit, shit your pants, or your tire blows up, or your shoe blows up, aka the tire of the legs. Anyways, as always, Stephanie's egging me on because I'm dragging this shit out, filibustering, if you will. We're joined once again by up-and-comer, is it still an up-and-comer? I don't know. She was part of the Year of the Women class last year.
I think she's no longer considered an up-and-comer. Well, she, on her debut race, she knocked that out of the park.
Well, don't we all, though? Don't we all set a course record in our debut 100 miler? As always,
an overall course record.
Yeah, and that'll probably not go down for a while, if I'm being honest. But Aimee Jacobs, once again from San Antonio, welcome back for your 1.7th appearance, since we had you on earlier after Bandera for just a few minutes. And she's joined by her pacer. I was going to say his name, but I think his official handle and title, is it legal? It's DJ Melly Mel. Is that true?
I have been known. Yeah, I have been known to DJ occasionally.
Yeah, because not that I can't pronounce his last name, but
it's okay. I just went by Amy's pacer for today. I'm just pacer. Amy's pacer is the official title.
AP, Associated Pacer, or Press, whatever. So Aimee is on because she's been living abroad and refusing to stay in San Antonio for God knows how long, just to train for this one race, a little-known race put on by Jim Mega Corporation that's probably unaware that they even are running a race in Leadville. Lifetime Fitness's Leadville 100, which we all love Lifetime. Thank you for your
Is that
efforts.
How we have to say the title now?
It's everywhere. You don't have the Leadville gear? Lifetime.
It says Lifetime on the Leadville gear. It makes sense because they let
us call it Leadville.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're not putting that in the title. That we need to make sure Dylan doesn't include that, because I feel like you can't.
No, we're not going to include the Lifetime part. Okay, Jesus. Anyway, one of the most prestigious 100-mile races in the country, at altitude, and she and Mel are both people from sea level, so. We're excited to hear about her race and her performance and just her build-up to it. But first and foremost, Aimee, welcome. What has happened since we last had you on, since the epic Bandera that you had earlier this year?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. I feel like a lot of things have happened. Graduated from fellowship and my postdoc program, so that was nice. And have done some races, dabbled in the mountains. I haven't done as great in the mountains, but they've been a lot of fun and very, very pretty. And yeah, just got back from 3 weeks of basically being a trail running bum and getting to camp up on my way up to Leadville and then stay up in Leadville for a couple of weeks, 2 weeks.
Now, you made a few trips, and you're coached. Who's coaching you currently?
Ryan Miller.
And didn't you go on a trip with him out there, do some mountain recon or just, you know?
Yeah, him and his family were staying in Estes Park for, I guess, like a month and a half or so, and he had put it up an open invite if anyone wanted to come out and train. So took him up on that and went up there for a long weekend to just run in Rocky Mountains National Park, which was absolutely beautiful. That was in June time period.
Now, you also went up there, you did Silver Rush, which a lot of people do, kind of the double there. How was that?
That was why I decided to go out for several weeks ahead of Leadville, and thankfully I had the leave to do so. That one was, I found out that my body does not do great at altitude, and kind of my kryptonite, and ended up coughing up blood going up the climbs like after halfway through. So that was fun. Able to finish, but it definitely rocked me.
Tell us more. I want every sort of bodily dysfunction.
Coughing up blood.
It was more like I went out 2 days ahead of time, and my cousin came out to crew me for that one, and I felt decent the 2 days prior and was running, but like I was okay. I mean, you start at 10,500 feet. I hit about 11,000 on the first climb, and I just couldn't run, and couldn't really breathe and was very much struggling. I also had to pee every mile. Like I had to stop and pee, and I found out that was also an altitude response afterwards. It's basically the body's way, your kidney's way of trying to excrete off the excess CO2 in your body. Didn't really realize that at the time, but made it to the halfway point and coming back up that last climb, because I was already coughing up a lot, like on any of the climbs, but coming back from the halfway point started up coughing up blood in addition to just coughing. So made it, finished, and realized I need to do something else to be able to finish Leadville.
And for those who don't remember, we highly recommend you listen to last year. Wow, it's been a year. Episode of our podcast that had Aimee Jacobs on for Dinosaur Valley, who kind of tells her story and background, and everything that she's running towards and working towards. And
one of my favorite episodes, and I think on that one I was in the car, so I didn't even get to talk, if I remember correctly, because I was like, oh my goodness, of all episodes, like I wanted to be. That was one of my favorites.
It was also our highest rated episode, coincidentally, Stephanie, of the year. I'm joking, by the way.
I know.
Actually, I don't know, to be honest. We don't really look at the numbers. Turns out people sometimes do listen to us, though. But we switched gears here for a second because you have someone that helped you out here, someone that I was introduced to. I don't remember. I just remember hearing about him when you told me that you were crewing a friend doing the Alamo to Austin FKT attempt, and it wasn't someone like Kenneth who just does stuff like that unofficially. I don't even know if Kenneth knows what an FKT is, but Benjamin Melissi. Oh man, sorry man. I'm sorry if I'm butchering.
We'll go with it. It's all good.
Yeah, DJ Melly Mel.
DJ Melly Mel. Amy's pacer.
Amy's pacer. So, how did you two become introduced? Because you guys have been like two peas in a pod ever since I kind of like met you to begin with, Aimee. So, what's the story on that?
We actually talked about how we met this morning. Me and Aimee and our infamous crew chief, Dale Londos, were running downtown San Antonio this morning. About, what was it, probably 2 years ago, Aimee?
Yeah.
A year? Honestly, it might have only been a year. Yeah, I think it was a year.
You did Leadville.
Yeah, it was right after I did Leadville, and I was running on base at around 3 a.m. because I work at 4 a.m. And I was running up the hill, and I turned around and saw a light, and someone that I followed on Strava from the local legend of all the key segments on base. It was Aimee, and we started running, and I was having some severe GI distress, and I was like trying to bail out because I was like didn't know who she was. And I was like, hey, I'm gonna go over here, but you don't have to wait for me. And then she was like, oh no, I'll wait for you. It's cool. And so I went in and took care of my GI distress issues, and I came back out, and we just started running almost every day before work. So usually we run. I'll do my first 45 minutes solo, and then I'll join her for her first 45 minutes of her weekday runs, and we just kind of connected that way. And she's definitely kept me healthy with some PT issues with my feet, my lower back, and stuff. And then that's how we all got connected, and I got connected to the San Antonio community.
Yeah, because as someone that wakes up early, first thing I see is usually you two doing something long and just putting everyone to shame. Not that you should compare. You should never compare. I know, Stephanie. But still, like, damn, I should go out and do something. I want some vert. And then I realize what city I'm in, and it's not happening at the moment. But you guys, the San Antonio community in general, just like the people I do know, you guys run some killer, intense, put out some intense performances out there in that playground. Basically, the Rocky Mountains of Texas are San Antonio, as far as like within civilization. So, so how did you two start? Because I know, Aimee, you did Prickly Pear this year as well. But around, like, I feel like I've been seeing you guys run like nonstop a lot afterwards. How did the decision to run Leadville and then have him, DJ Melly Mel, bring the vibes? How did the decision to team up on that happen?
Well, the only reason I was able to do Leadville was actually because of Mel. Last year, he ran and volunteered while he was out there and donated his volunteer hours to me, which is how I got into the race in the first place. So I was able to run the race, and like at the time when I think it was I remember like a training run ahead of him because he was asked, do you want to do it? And this was before I realized I wasn't going to have the surgery. And I'm just like, well, heck yes, I'd want to do that. That'd be an absolute dream. But I didn't know if I would be able to or not. So after not having to have the surgery, and the lottery was like a week after that, like had to put the name in with the volunteer credits, and so was able to enter. And Mel's attachment to that is he was just like, I get to come out and pace, which is like a double bonus because was able to have him pace out there as well, and in addition to getting to do the race in the first place.
So was this just an effort, Mel, because you one day want to do this race, Mel?
No, so I did it in 20. Wow. Yeah, I did it in 2024, and it was a cool thing to do because Aimee pretty much showed up like 45 minutes before I did into Twin Lakes, and we had a very similar race. And basically all my mistakes that happened after mile 76, I was like, hey, be careful of this, along with the garden gnomes that we found in the forest that blessed us with their magical powers. It was I actually like.
You can't just drop that and not tell us that story. Like
we
need a sidetrack right now.
I found some garden gnomes when I turned around on the ground. A blue. Aimee was wearing like blue purple. I'm colorblind, so I'm gonna call it blue. And I was wearing a red Solomon vest, and there was a blue and a red garden gnome pocket size. And I know it's Oh
and my God, you're being serious.
Yeah, I have mine in the other room, and I picked it up. And I brought them with us. I said, Aimee, these are so cool. They look like us. And for the rest of the race, we had our little friend garden gnomes on there.
How crazy!
Honestly, though, it's not as altruistic as it seems to be a donating. So this year I got into Angela's Crest, but so I wasn't going to run Leadville again. And so I wanted to give my hours up to someone that wanted to do it. And Aimee was the first person, obviously, I thought of after I met her. Originally, I offered it as like a comeback race if she had the surgery, like a 6-7 month comeback if she could do it. And then it ended up being a lot more competitive for her because she didn't have the surgery and stuff. But Angeles Crest I ended up not doing because of the forest fires, and then it turned into some wonky, like 38 miles of running on the road, like out and back, and I'm not a huge fan of 100-milers, so I wanted to do the original course, so I ended up deferring it to potentially next year, but so it gave me a free excuse to go to the mountains and enjoy Leadville and the course in like the way that I was most miserable at last year, in a more positive way.
So you don't like to do hundreds. Are you capping yourself at a certain distance then at this moment?
I wouldn't say that. I would do a 100, like a backyard ultra. I've found to kind of like that one, but I'm like a 100K guy. Like for Javelina coming up, Amy's going to do the 100 and I'm going to do the 100K because I like to enjoy my night. Like I like to have dinner and then go to bed versus like running through the night, like puking my guts out.
Oh, fast enough to finish at night.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, instead of the middle of the night. But yeah, I've come to kind of appreciate the shorter distances. Any distance really at this point. Just a blessing to be out there on the trail.
5Ks, that's where it's at.
Okay, so Aimee, did you fix all the mistakes that he did so your race ran smoother than his?
I just came up with new mistakes.
I love it. Okay, so what went wrong? Because your finish time says everything went right.
So I will say I had a pretty aggressive goal going into it after recounting most of the course. And
what was the aggressive goal?
It was very aggressive. Sub 21 was.
Hey, it doesn't matter what your goal is. You should always shoot aggressively because you were successful. So I feel like even next time, shoot aggressive and then just whatever end up happens.
That's what I plan to do. And it ended up being. I still enjoyed every minute out there and still had a blast. It was. So the week leading up to the race, I ended up getting super sick, like fever, body chills, like super congested, and that was not very fun. But I honestly woke up race day and I felt great. Like I was just like, I don't have any of this going on. Like it's going to be a really good day. And I felt pretty good for altitude after being out there for a little while. And really the first 38 miles went very, very smooth. I felt like I was able to kind of keep the plan, able to just enjoy the day out there. I like not go too fast, but stay in control, have good nutrition, and got to Twin Lakes. And Leadville is amazing because there's just so many people and like just a lot of people around on the race just to kind of pump you up, get you excited. Got into Twin Lakes and saw Mel, Dell, Courtney from San Antonio as well. She was out there, Crew and Hugh, and I even saw that. I'm like, I am ready to go to Hope Pass. Like I'm ready for this. And Hope Pass was much, much more ready for me instead. And the altitude just came around and got me like 40 miles into the race and had a very similar experience going up. It took a little bit longer. It was probably like 11.5 or so, and it was very similar, like just hard to breathe, hard to just push, or I wasn't running anymore at that point. I was power hiking, but it was still pretty darn cool because there's a guy in the hostel that I knew from that I was staying at, and he's from Austin and was doing the race, and so ended up being around him, but then also Ryan Masters from San Antonio, who's also coached by Ryan Miller. He was out there and pretty much went up the entire Hope Pass with him. And we got to the top and tried to run down. It was the backside of Hope is a little bit of a beast. And so kind of made my way down there, got to Winfield, turn around, and so fun seeing all the people out on the course. But at that point kind of knew like it wasn't going to be the day that I wanted to have, but it was going to be a day of just embracing it and really going after, like, enjoying being in the moment, but also had a fundraiser goal associated with the race that I really wanted to get sub 25 because of that fundraiser goal. So when I got back into Twin Lakes, saw Mel, Dell, and Courtney, I was just like, all right, Mel, you're going to have to push me so we can get that, keep on getting that sub 25. But yeah.
So I love how you can stay positive. So some elites, because I would consider you an elite, when they realize they're not going to reach their goal, it's like that elite mentality. They just want to like tap because they're like, why waste my time if I don't hit what I want? But I mean, I am not surprised at all that you stayed positive just because of how positive you were at Dino Valley. Just like, you just like love doing it. Did you have any lows at all where you're like, fuck this at all?
That's a better question for Mel too. Is Aimee
Yeah, because Mel can be honest about.
Yeah.
There was so coming out, I realized that I just for Leadville, I just couldn't climb. Like I normally can climb. I did so much hill training leading into Leadville, and I just was not climbing at all. Starting at probably around mile 65, I had kind of uncontrollable diarrhea until mile 82. And so that
How
was
the hell
fun.
did you finish so fast?
No orifice unscathed.
Yeah, and I haven't had a like really bad like that bad of GI issues ever in a race, but yeah, I had it was for a while. It was like every mile just pull over, hey Mel, keep running, like I'll be right there. Didn't have to stop very long because it was coming quick. But also before, and this ended up being a laughable moment after, but like 2 miles before, maybe not even 2 miles before Outward Bound, did not make it over to the side of the road quick enough, and I had to have a shorts change by the time I got to Outward Bound.
This is the best story. You are human.
That was, I think the call that Mel did to Dell just like, I'm pretty sure he said on the phone call, the princess has pooped her pants. And
Oh my God. If I could have been a fly on the wall to listen to that.
Yeah, so that was fun. Ended up not having, like, Mel was fantastic at troubleshooting. Maybe we'll get his perspective on that. Like, I decreased, since I was just doing like gels and fluids, like tried to just get in some real food from there. But definitely the lowest point was once we hit May Queen onto Turquoise Lake on the way back. That was Mel had some very tough love and motivating words for me to get through that section. Yeah.
Okay, so Mel, share what were the words of encouragement?
Honestly, so when I was pacing Aimee, she's a very positive person, and it was probably one of the first times where I saw her get like frustrated. Like it was the first time that she asked me to kind of like step back. Beforehand, we were like running side by side and just kind of talking the whole way. And then when we got to Turquoise Lake, you're on this hardball road, and then you break off to the left where you start going back towards Leadville. On the way out, it looks really flat, but on the way back, it's like these little annoying little choppy hills with rocks.
Don't listen to him.
and Aimee, she was starting to get like frustrated, and she started getting like the 100-mile tears going, and just like why is this, like what is happening, like why. She knew she wasn't really, I had the time calculated she needed with Dale to get her the sub 25, and then I think it was like a 19:30 mile with the walk, and I think it kind of like, I could be wrong, but like alarmed her or something, like where she wasn't feeling like she was moving a little fast enough, and she was getting a little frustrated. And eventually I just kind of was just like Aimee, like, shut the hell up, like, stop whining and complaining, like, you're gonna be okay, like, and honestly, I didn't know the reaction because I never had to get mad at Aimee before, but I was just kind of like, I was honestly up all day too. Not running as much, but I was just kind of like, okay, I'm tired of the complaining. I need positive Aimee back. And then she just kind of said, you're right, you're right. She put me on DJ because her headphones died. So I gave her my headphones, and I found out that she hates the music that I listen to. So I was controlling all the music that was going into her headphones, and she apparently did not like the Wiggles mixed with Bon Jovi and Skrillex, but that's besides the point. And then, yeah, she kind of picked it up. I ended up calling her friend Marina St. Germain because I'm not super motivational in that sense. I'm just kind of like, I'll be here right here with you. So I called Marina, and Marina, I said, hey, give her like a pep talk. So I read it out to Aimee, and then Marina gave her a mantra, which is on her Instagram post. And so she kept saying that mantra over and over again. And I just kind of hung in the back and let her do her thing. And honestly, after that, she started picking up her miles, and we split what we needed to be safely under. My goal was for her to have like a 30-minute buffer just in case she absolutely imploded at the end. I didn't want her to like worry about running uphill to the finish line, but that was really like the only low point, minus like the poop pants, because that was more funny for me. And I was trying to update and not put it on the Instagram story, and while I was doing that, I actually fell into like a knee-deep hole at Outward Bound right after Aimee pooped her pants, and then so she was like
That's
frantic.
karma.
Yeah, she was like frantic and like, are you okay, Mel? And I was like, just go on without me. And I honestly, for a second, thought I wasn't going to be able to run after. Like, I literally did like a meme video forward split trying to like, I don't know, get into Outward Bound. But she troubleshot really well. I think just shout out Precision Fuel and Hydration. She fueled all day with them. I did as well. And then just at a certain point with the 100-mile race, though, like you need to take in some sort of like solid food, because if you're just having gels and like liquid carbs and liquid sodium, like at a certain point, like just the body needs something solid. So she had some like pretzels and stuff and some potatoes and kind of saturated everything up.
I think the funniest stories actually came, or like the weirdest things that happened were the last 5 miles of the race and then after. Like we hit, there's a really steep hill after you go through Turquoise Lake, and my entire just right side of my body just cramped up. And it was probably due to the diarrhea that happened earlier, but I was like running sideways and like trying to get myself to get back upright. And I couldn't use my right arm because it also just cramped up to the point where I was just not able to use it. But like 2 miles to go, I was messing with my headlamp because I thought that my headlamp had turned off, and I realized that it was not off, but I couldn't see anything. And so I told Mel, I was just like, I can't see right now. Like that was really, really weird. So he also had to kind of guide me in for.
Was that like lack of calories, you think, or?
So we found out after, so it kind of came back blurry, and I was able to kind of just see blurry at that point, but found out once I crossed the finish line, which I will say it was like a mile out, and I started crying again, but it was just happy, like just complete, just happy of being out there and just realizing a year ago I didn't think I was going to be able to do this, and it was a pretty cool moment. I'm just like grateful for like Mel being out there, really allowing me to get into the race and being able to be there, and just beautiful location. But yeah, I crossed the finish line, and Mel and Dell were just like, we've decided that you're going to go to the med tent, get checked out with the vision, and went there. And I was trying to deny it because I was just like, no, I acclimatized, like I'm good to go. And they ended up giving me oxygen, and my vision came completely back after 30 minutes. So it was another altitude related thing that I guess just my body was not great with that. But we made it back to the hostel. And so the hostel is like, it was amazing. Like if anyone's doing Leadville next year, it is great place to stay. They have like everyone's there for like mountain bike race or the run. They have some through hikers coming through, but in the clouds in Leadville. But I was staying in a bunk room downstairs it's like communal showers, bathrooms downstairs, and got into the shower. And I've always joked that like you need a safety in the shower post 100. I literally fell down and passed out in the shower, and I don't know how long I was out for. I think it was like 10, 15 minutes, but I came to it. I'm like laying on the floor of the shower. I initially tried to call out, and I'm like, I don't really know if I want anyone to find me right now laying on the floor of the shower while the shower is still going on anyways. But and no one was up at 5:30 in the morning. And so like crawled out, able to get back up. And yeah, so I didn't fall at all during the race. I fell in the shower post-race.
That's scary, but when you're just so tired.
Yeah, I think safeties are needed for showers.
Yeah.
That's why I give me and Dale a B on our crew level, because I woke up at about 8:30 in the morning, and Dale was we were in another building on the little hostel compound, and I woke up to Aimee saying I passed out in the shower, and it was from like 4 hours ago, and I was like, is she alive? So I woke Dale up, and I was like, Aimee fell in the shower. And I was just like, I didn't know if Aimee was in the hospital or if like she was just sitting in the hostel. Like.
So Mel, how much did you end up pacing overall again?
I did all
All
Aimee.
of it. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. All of it. And is this how many times have you guys, I don't know your race history together. Is this the first time you guys have paced each other, or
He paced me at Bandera as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So let's be honest. God, sorry. Someone doesn't want me to talk. Nature. So that's a lot of pacing at a difficult course, a lot of difficult problems going on. Would you are you used to having to do something like this where you're, for this prolonged of a period of time? I know, we all pace each other, but you're doing a lot of pacing. And I know it's different now, Leadville, you can only have pacers later now when you come back from the Hope Pass. But was this difficult for you, or was there a lot of times where you had to just put anything negative out of the way for her sake, which we all have to do, but did you run into any of your own problems during that entire time?
Honestly, the only thing was so I wanted to document Aimee's stuff on Instagram, and I'm not a huge poster. I post on my stories or whatever, but so I was trying to update every so often while she was running. But honestly, I was having such a fun time, and Aimee was in such good spirits for 90% of the part that I paced her. She was talkative, we were hanging out, and I'm in the middle of my javelina build, running wise, I'm right where I want to be. So we were having honestly an awesome time. Aimee's awesome to pace, and I knew that from Band Eagle this year. I honestly think I had a more miserable time during Band Eagle than she did. I told her that I did the Band Eagle 50K nighttime ultra because I paced her for the second lap, and I was tripping over everything. I'm more of a runner, not a technical trail runner. But honestly, yeah, it was really cool knowing everything that Aimee was going through and that she's done to get here. So it was super fun to be a part of, and all the vibes and stuff going through the race.
But yeah, we all know Aimee's propensity to not stop or acknowledge people at aid stations during some.
Oh, Andrew, I have one to tell you about. For outbound. We had a plan where Aimee was going to stop for 3 minutes, and Dale, who was adjusting to altitude, and that's why I stepped to do the full 38. We had a pacer plan, but we thought it would be better for Dale to be the crew chief full time because that's what his mojo is. And so she comes in outward bound flying. She starts running past Dale. Dale's kind of only been there for 3-4 days at altitude. He has a backpack that weighs 20 pounds with 2 water jugs and all of me stuff. And Aimee's running about an 8-minute mile down through outward bound, dropping Dale. And she's like, where's Dale at? Where's Dale? Dale had to stop and walk from outward bound in, and I'm running after Aimee and then running back to Dale to grab the bottles. I just basically had to tell Aimee, like, Aimee, you need to stop. Like, you need to stop running. She just left everyone.
To be fair, I thought he was farther down. I didn't actually see him. I feel very bad about that.
She was beating Truett Haynes at this point, too, which was, not to name drop, I know you name drop a lot on the podcast, but she was beating Cam and Truett Haynes at this point in the jeans.
We like to name drop people that are getting either something embarrassing is happening to them, and we'll name drop them. Never for anything good, though. You're right, though. We got to work on that. Name drop in a more positive light. But so, I mean, the oxygen mask picture was great. I mean, I'm happy you're able to take in the air. Although, fun fact, air is the reason why we die at the very end of life. So, anyways, let's moving on from that. So the recovery process right now. I know we were originally going to have you guys on like immediately after, which I think would have been great. We always want to like have you guys on, any runner on, just as soon as possible. Just we want to hear your delirium come through the mic into people's ears. But fortunately, that wasn't the case, and now you guys are somewhat removed now from the race. But the recovery process for both of you. But you know, Aimee, how's it going?
I'm feeling good now. I definitely was the most physically tanked from this race. Well, more even just mentally and fatigue wise from this race. I ended up not running at all through Friday, and was just incredibly tired, and my body was just needed a break. But ran Saturday, Sunday today, and I'm feeling excited to run again, and I've made some questionable life choices for some races for next year already, so that's great.
Yeah, so Andrew, do you know what she signed up for?
Well, I know that she's doing Javelina, she's doing Black Canyon, but then just a few days ago, she made the
Today.
mistake of talking about 200 milers to me.
Ask her.
I already,
what she's
What do
doing.
you mean ask her? just
I
said
know
we
the
talked
answer
about it.
because
Oh, I don't know the answer. I'm gonna play
because
dumb
you
here.
came on late.
No. Okay. All right. Well, Aimee, shit. I don't know what you're doing. I just made up a number. Now, let's say.
No,
How
No,
can I
it's
convince
right.
you?
You're on the
Okay,
right track.
How can I
But you
convince
need to
you
hear the
do-
level. You need to hear the level of what she's gonna do.
Well, I got the email confirmation that I'm officially signed up for Bigfoot.
Oh my
So
goodness! I'm so surprised.
Andrew, we need more enthusiasm. Give more enthusiasm.
Oh, Aimee. I'm sorry. I'll play along here. Aimee, while you're at it, you should sign up for more 200s. Maybe
I
do
mean,
the Triple
oh.
Crown.
yeah, yeah, I'm trying to on the wait list, like you recommended for the wait list.
Yeah, I recommended you just join all the wait lists. Join the Triple Crown wait list plus the individual wait list because they don't double charge you. In fact, Destination Trail, if you sign up individually for some races and they know that you're trying to get in the Triple Crown, if you get in the first two, sometimes they work with you just to put you into the Moab one, just like unofficial. I tried doing that last year, and then I DNF'd Tahoe, so I just didn't even try to get into Moab after Bigfoot. So, but yeah, I think you should just join every single wait list. I think it's awesome. I'm sure. Did Kenneth have anything to do with this? Did his Bigfoot experience have anything to do with it?
He had some to do with it, but it was more that he sent me a message, and I'm not sure if it was me or him, but I think I was asking him about Bigfoot, and he asked if I would want to sign up for the Tahoe 200 waitlist with him. And I took about 30 seconds, and then I was just like, yeah, let's do that. And so signed up for that, but then was looking at Triple Crown after that. And it was honestly because of Leadville, because I didn't think I would have any desire to do a 200. And I think that from Leadville, I think my strength is more of the mental side for racing, more so maybe even than the physical side. And I'm super curious of what I could do for a 200.
Yeah, it's it's interesting. I can tell you, someone more akin to your skill level, but I always tell people it's completely different. Hundreds are their own beast. Some people think they're harder. Hundreds are harder than 200s. Hundreds can be over fast. 200s can seem like it's the rest of your life, and that come down after a 200 is mentally taxing and destroying. Which I'm sure the more you do it, the better it gets. Like after I did Monster this year, I wasn't not as emotional, but it's
You're
exciting.
still emotional.
Well, I haven't really ran since then.
So, yeah.
Throwing a bitch fit.
But that was a 300. So, I mean, it's more than a 200. You stepped
But
up.
that's a wet. Well, that's just the weather here in Houston, the trail running capital of Texas, as we all know. But I think you do fantastic in them. It's spirit. It's exactly everything you want in a race. You know, just you're out there enjoying what was given to us on this earth by whoever you believe in or don't believe in. It's just you're out there enjoying the best of what the world has to offer. And there's no problems in life when you're out there. It's a spiritual experience. Even the things trying to kill you out there, you can't blame them. That's just what it's. The bears are just doing bear things. That's what they were told. Like, I'm sorry, Mr. Bear, you can have the rest of my leg. Just let me be. I don't know. It's fine. But it's going to be great following you for that. I know you also have other races coming up this year. You're doing Javelina 100. We're going to try to see if you can beat Mel's 100K time within your own 100. So I'm going to make that a challenge right
that
now between you
realistic?
two.
Is that realistic?
I'm going to make
Mel's
a challenge. Of course he's
I was
fast.
gonna Yeah, if he keeps up. I've seen your pacers. It was probably Mel that I saw at Band Eagle that needed crew for your pacer because you're in and out so fast.
I like to stop at aid stations even during faster races, and Aimee doesn't. So I was like, Aimee, I'll catch up to you. I'm gonna have my little ramen cup and snack, and
I
then
remember
I'll
that.
get.
He did stay behind one time a little bit. I don't think I've officially knew you yet. My timeline's fucked up. But that is funny, but also just kind of badass. Like, I'll catch up to her, but one of these days maybe you won't.
I probably won't, honestly. Javelina, definitely. I would. If I have a bad day, I think Aimee could definitely
Do
torch
they all
me.
start at the same time? I forget.
No, so I have the benefit. Well, actually, she has a benefit. She starts about, I think, an hour and a half before me.
Okay, even better.
It's enough to make a difference. I was out there last year, and I was like, it's enough to make a difference. Her starting earlier.
Let's see if maybe he can catch up to her with an hour.
That's the goal.
That's a good goal.
Based off our splits, we should cross paths. I'm trying to shoot for around 10 hours, and with her splits, I should cross her at the end.
I'm sorry, Aimee. What are you aiming for? Unless you don't want to put that out there.
I haven't actually calculated out what it would be, but probably 9-ish minute miles.
I can't even do those right now.
What would the overall finish time be?
I have no clue.
I'm going to be 17:56 is a 10:43. Don't ask me that. I just saw that on
I have never lived in that world where I would know those numbers.
So yeah, that's
okay. Wait,
cool.
I feel like I'm gonna. Let
go
me
do
plug
that.
it in.
You do teacher things. You
So
go do the math.
you said
on that.
9 minute mile, like 9
Like,
flat.
no, maybe 9:30 pace overall.
Okay,
I
I'm
mean,
on it.
Regina was kind of going into that race hobbled, and she still did a little less than 21:20. She did 20. Yeah, this is like the beginning of the back issues, or before that was, but so
15:50.
Yeah, let's do it.
I think that's realistic.
Okay.
Sub 16.
But
All right.
let's look at what it would be if you did a 9 minute mile. That's 15. So you're going to be in the 15 to 15:30.
You know what? Why stop
Right.
there? Why not make it an even number? 14 is my favorite number.
Stop!
It really is, though. Coincidentally.
Dave's going to be out there, so why don't we just go for 13, Aimee?
Yeah. And then knowing him, he's probably going to be doing something out of every orifice as well, along with you. So something will be going on there. But Mel, what about you, man? What do you have coming up? Are you tagging other than doing the same races as Aimee? Do you plan on doing your own thing and then maybe tagging along, helping Aimee out, vice versa? Is she gonna be helping you out for anything?
Yeah, so Javelina, I'm doing the Javelina 100K, and so me and Aimee we're gonna fly out there same day and kind of recon the course. And we're also doing Black Canyon in January. But Aimee's coming out to the Summit Backyard Ultra. So that's like I think I was talking about this morning. That's like my big race for the year. It's the silver ticket race into Bigs, and there's some really cool and great Texas local legends, I call them. With I think like Megan Smith and I think her name's Rachel Moore, Nick Peterson, and then the guy that beat me last year in my other Backyard Ultra. I was the seconder at the Big Tex, so he's going to be back out there, Shea Frederick. So it's going to be a fun day, and Aimee actually kind of was like talking about at first coming out for the second day, but I think she's committing more to the full race experience with Dale to help set me up for success. So that's like my big race for the year. But other than that, I'm just kind of racing with Aimee with Black Canyon, Javelina, and then pacing the San Antonio Marathon just for fun.
Any FKT potential for you guys? Looking at anything?
Nah, not in Texas right now. The Austin FKT is. I wish I could say it was fun, but as we all know, the I-35 construction makes it absolutely miserable because you feel like you're going to get hit by a car every 2 seconds. I think Ken knows the feeling from running all the way from DC, but we were definitely laughing about the traffic, the oncoming traffic a lot of times. But no FKTs for now.
Potential of vehicular manslaughter is always hilarious.
Yeah.
Trying to FKT something. That's unfortunate. A lot of construction going on. I really want someone to go for the Net Trail FKT. People keep talking about it. Like I know Nick at one point. Other people have.
Doesn't Regina have that? Are you trying to?
I mean, I'm whispering for a reason.
What
Which
the
one's
fuck?
that one?
Well, the Northeast Texas.
Oh, yeah.
It's the longest
His
one.
girlfriend has the record right now.
Well, actually, there's a 200-mile trail now. Some pilgrimage that on the FKT website. I kind of wanted to maybe do that, but now I said it out loud. Maybe someone will do it. But that's like all dirt road, though. But yeah.
When are you thinking about doing this?
I don't know. I'm just gonna.
Let's make it
this.
happen.
No.
I was gonna
No,
say.
we don't.
Redact it. Redact.
We don't edit episodes.
I mean, listen. Same people usually pace me, so I haven't scared them off yet. So maybe I'm not.
You always
terrible
have
out there.
different people.
Well, I always have the same basic like.
But
Kenneth
Regina
Doors
will
there.
always be there.
Yeah, we'll see after this. So.
Yeah, after you're
But
talking shit.
if someone can do, just some FKT suggestions out there. But yeah, so Leadville 100. I know you've been running with such great positivity, Aimee, and your enthusiasm. Every now and then, you just like post about it, and just your growing love for the sport. Post Leadville 100. How's your viewpoint right now on the sport, on trail running? Has it increased? Is it about the same, or are you just excited more now for the future and what you're able to do? But yeah, where are you at mentally right now?
But it's definitely increased. I absolutely love being out there, and I am excited. It's like a mixed bag right now, I will say, is I am so excited for 2026, but I'm also kind of putting the cart before the horse, so to say, and that I kind of also have to wait until December for scans for knowing for sure if 2026 is a guarantee. So I am... I'd say a little bit greedy for time in that I really want to have another really solid year because I've enjoyed this year so much with racing that I want to have next year as well, and want to test myself with the 200s to see what happens and kind of continue with the fundraising efforts that I've been doing so far. And so it's kind of it's a little bit twofold right now with that. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I am really excited for 2026 to see what happens. And I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is a guarantee. So I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit nervous because I know that 2026 is embracing it, loving it, and really just the people are amazing. I have so many amazing friendships from this, and just getting to be out on the trails and enjoying it has been phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the year and just trying to be very hopeful about next year.
Yeah, and Mel, your involvement is this something that you're trying to get more into? I know you've done a lot, but do you see yourself like dedicating more and more time to this, or are you kind of happy where you're at? Like, do you have some future big goals that are maybe further down the line, or are you just kind of living moment by moment in the trail running scene?
Yeah, I like to honestly there was a time after the FKT and Backyard Ultra where I was like, oh, maybe I could get a little more competitive at this. And I think I definitely have races where I can be competitive at in the 50K to like 50-mile distance, the more runnable stuff. But honestly, I just I love trail running. I love running any surface, any distance, and I think later down the road, like my big race, I'm moving back to Europe permanently in 2026. So I think down the road I would like to like run UTMB or do like the Triple C or TDS or something, or maybe Tour de France. If Aimee has a fun time with her 200 miler, maybe I might try to do something like that. But honestly, I just like the running community, and I had probably just as much fun or more fun pacing and crewing Aimee all day. And I know, thank you for not mentioning it, Aimee, but at the end of the race, I started like crying in the last mile when Aimee started crying, and I didn't cry that much during my Leadville experience, and it was just kind of like we like looked at each other, and I was just like, "You're my best friend, Aimee," and she was like, "Right back at you," and like we had a moment, like a best friend moment, and it was really like in that moment it was kind of cool. Amy's raising all the money for Christus kids, and seeing her get that sub 25 where they like double the money for it was really amazing. So I'm here for anyone that needs it, and also just having a good time on the trails with hopefully having some competitive times. But and I love the Texas community, honestly. I love the Houston trail runners, the San Antonio trail runners. Not so much the Austin trail runners, but
Oh,
just kidding. I don't really know any Austin trail runners. But
Shots fired.
because they're all influencers, maybe. I don't know, dude.
yeah, shout out Matchway.
Wow. So yeah, that's cool. Tour de France is in my bucket list race at the moment, so that'd be cool if Aimee actually ends up liking all this stuff, being out there in the Alps just with nobody. You're not allowed to have a pacer. It kind of terrifies me a bit, but that'd be fun. But thank you two for joining us on this episode of recapping Leadville. Leadville was like the last mile of Leadville is emotional. A mile and a half when you start running through town, everyone cheering you on. I got emotional when Regina did it. We didn't know if she was going to make it or not because of, wow, I guess in hindsight, back issues then too. But that was like 2 years ago, or yeah. But always a fun time. It's one of the more epic finishes in ultra running, so that's pretty cool. You got to do it. So just a few things, Aimee. Is there anything or anyone you want to shout out, or just like I know you've been helping out with a lot, putting stuff out there. But before we do our can't let it go, is there any like kudos you want to give?
Oh, absolutely. I would say huge kudos to Mel and Del Londos for being out there, like volunteering to come out to Colorado, and it just makes the experience so much more fun when you have people out there and have a crew, have a pacer. It was great to see Courtney out there too. She was there to crew and support or pace for Hugh from San Antonio, and just kind of all of the Texas runners that were out there. It was fun to spin miles, spend some time on the trail, give people hugs on passing by out there on Hope Pass. That was great. And I would like to do a little shout out, if that's okay, about the Christus Cancer Children's Center. So I decided when I was able to race this year, I really wanted to give back and race for more than just me, because it's really always seemed more than just me running. And so my ortho-oncologist does some pro bono work as well for Christus Children's Cancer Center here in San Antonio. And so their mission is to support uninsured and underinsured children within the kind of South Texas region, which is honestly insane to me to think that any kid doesn't have health insurance, and that families have to consider going someplace and knowing that their kid has cancer and not being sure how they're going to take care of it. And it's a pretty incredible location, and that they're not going to turn away any child. And so I decided that I wanted to use that as a fundraising platform to be able to raise money for the cancer center while running. And so was able to, it had to go through legal review and go through the Christus Children's Foundation to get approval first, so all donations go directly through them. But they for a child that is completely uninsured, normally the cost for that is $35,000 for them to be able to get the care that they need. And so I made that my fundraising goal for my races that I get to do, like overall as the fundraising goal. And so when I am doing a race, I'm putting out like a pledge per mile goal for that race. And then I'm going to be choosing a goal time. So Leadville, it was the big buckle. For Javelina, I'll be kind of calculating that closer to for what I think is going to be a hard, like kind of a reach goal, but something that I can do and push for. And that's kind of a bonus fundraising goal to be able to continue to raise money.
That's awesome. Yeah, we gotta look more into that.
If you have a link or
following for
something,
that.
we can put it
For
when
sure.
we like post everything.
Okay, yeah, I'll send that your way. It goes straight through the Christus Children's Foundation page, so everything goes straight to the Cancer Center.
Yeah, we definitely got to help out with that. So, Stephanie, let's get on that. Maybe Dylan when he comes back.
Dylan's gonna have to take care of that.
We can just get rid of his. He's getting paid. He's like Milton from Office Space.
We get
you
paid
know?
nothing, Andrew. Don't act
He won't get paid. We'll just stop paying him and see when he notices it. He probably won't.
with the stapler.
It's a deep cut.
Take
yeah,
his
with the
stapler down to the
With you-
basement.
I believe that's my stapler. Something like
Okay,
that. I don't fucking know.
you were doing so good. I thought you were actually. I'll start
Milton?
with my can't let it go.
Go ahead. Can't let it go.
My can't let it go.
Squeak toy. That's what it is.
Sorry.
All right. So
My-
I will start with
yeah,
my
you go
can't let
first.
it go. A lot's happened. I won't go into detail with some stuff in my personal life that's been crazy, but Oregon 200 and Oregon Cascades. I've had a lot of friends running both for their first 200 miler or a fast 200 miler. Some people about to podium. Oregon Cascades, first time people doing their 100 miler. That was my first 100 mile attempt when they did an inaugural year in 2020, 2021, something like that. So I've had friends out there for both. They both just got canceled. It was tragic. A lot of fires going on, and it sucks.
Wait,
It's
what? I did
unfortunate.
not know this.
They
I have
both
not been
just
on
got
social media.
canceled. Only 5 people were able to finish the Oregon Cascades, the Oregon 200.
Oh
the
my
last,
God.
The last finisher is our friend who I keep giving shit to, Adam Williams, who is doing every 200 mile in the fucking country. I am pissed. He got DFL. They allowed him to finish. I say pull him before. That guy has done 11, I think, so far.
Quit
They're like,
shit talking.
He's like
Quit
doing
shit talking.
14 of them. No, I'm going to shit talk at him
Andrew,
because
no.
I love the guy. He's awesome. He's insane. I love Speedlands. He's Mr. Speedland himself, in my opinion. But it's insane. I thought it was hilarious that he was a DFL. But what's not hilarious is what's going on with the forest fires, canceling races. And I know as a runner, it's frustrating to be able to have a response to that because you're disappointed, especially if you're so close, and yet the race was taken from you, but it wasn't. And, you know, this is a great reason. It's for the safety of the runners. It's tragic what's going on there. So you're kind of like in this emotional conundrum where you are upset and you would like to maybe voice it or be upset, but you can't be upset at the reason. So it's kind of like being boxed in. So I understand the frustration there, but it's for the safety of everyone. It sounds like everyone got out safe. And good luck to the communities up there in Oregon. There's a lot going on with the fires. It's not the first time. Oregon 200 didn't even happen for a few years because of the fires. Oregon Cascades has had air quality issues before in the past. So it's tragic, but it's for the best. And you guys, we're all doing great. So let's just take that momentum forward and just know you're part of a year that will hopefully lead to better years. But yeah, it's for the safety of the runners. So congratulations for at least doing what you could do, and good luck to everyone out there, and be safe. That's my can't let it go. So Stephanie, just go next. Now that the toy's
My can't
gone.
let it go is gone now.
Okay.
Because my can't let it go was I was so proud you were actually going to stick to the cutoff that you gave yourself.
Oh, I just hit the 1 hour mark. Yeah. So that's cool. So we can move on from your can't let it go.
Okay,
and see
so
if I
then
can
I'm
do my
done.
beat goal.
I'm contributing to the win.
All right. Oh, well, technically, like the first minute was filibuster. So, Mel, you're next. Anything on your mind that you don't mind sharing?
No, I'm just looking forward to the end of the year, and thanks for having me and Aimee on. Shout out Dale Londos. Shout out Precision Fuel and Hydration. Shout out Robbie Britton for letting me pace Aimee in the middle of a javelina build. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you both.
Succinct, very, very poignant, and to the point. That's what poignant is. Anyways.
I have another one. I have a real one.
No, we are. That could be.
Yes, I always get two.
All right.
Erica won Last Person Standing at Quanah Hills Massacre this past weekend.
Well, no poison ivy? Hopefully.
No.
Okay, just making
But
sure. Just feel like
She
I
got
gotta check
12
with
loops
her.
in
Yeah,
and crushed all the
congratulations.
boys. And you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, it's the year of the women for the 5th year in a row, Stephanie. We know. Let's go. Aimee, what about you? Anything on your mind you don't mind sharing?
Can I pull a Stephanie and have two as well?
Yes, you can. You get as many as you want.
So first would be Ann Flowers freaking crushed it out there at Leadville. And it's so cool. She's a emergency room physician. I knew she was going to do, I was betting on her to win just because she at Silver Rush 50 just absolutely demolished the course. And so that was so cool to see her. And then there's just an amazing, really strong women's field out there for Leadville. And it was cool to see that unfold during the day. Mel was hyping her up during the race as well, and because he was tracking to see her finish time and was letting everyone know along the course, and there's just so many people cheering her on. And then the second one is just how freaking freeing it can be to, like, if you have time to take leave and to just go and explore and just spend some time with solitude, like that. It was an amazing week of camping up, going up to Leadville, and I was so glad I was able to do that. Just camped every night, ran every location I went there. So I think my can't let it go would be to go do something fun for yourself and just immerse yourself in nature and take some time to think and reflect.
I'm going to do just that here in a few minutes. Go outside and enjoy nature. I can pay for that. I'm excited. But thank you so much, guys, for joining us. It was always fun following along with you, Aimee. We're going to have you on for some small segments in the future, especially after...
Or long segments, because you've got lots of stuff ahead.
After the Javelina, first to 100K race between you and Mel over here. So, and then see if you can do...
Mel, you better
15.
catch her.
I will, and if she passes me, I'll just put the pacer bib on and say that I'm pacing.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good. Have you thought about doing the 100K and then just maybe taking a break for a lap and pacing the last lap?
I would consider it, depending on how great my day is, and sometimes my day does not go great, as we all have those days.
We all know we love doing 100K and taking a break for a few hours just to get out there and do another 20 miles. It always helps the body. Active
Maybe
recovery.
if she works it in the fundraiser, gives like a bonus thing. Maybe I'll consider it.
Can we start? Can we start All right, maybe if we can do something, we'll think about this.
I am
Get
so
Mel
maxed
there
out,
at
Andrew.
pace.
My boundaries is I can do projects in a few weeks. Give me a few weeks and I can say yes to stuff again.
I'll go ahead and say yes. All right, we'll find something to do to convince Mel to get out there to pace after his 100K for one loop, if it depending on what's going on. But,
Are we saying he can keep up with her?
No, it doesn't matter. He can get
That's what I'm
dropped.
saying.
You're allowed to get dropped. That's fine.
Loophole, I DNF myself after
Yeah.
10 miles, and then I just wait to pace her.
Yeah. But we'll see how things go. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're gonna let you go.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you
having
coming
us.
on.
It's only 5 minutes after, so it's not terrible. As always, happy ending.
Happy endings!
And Mo knows. Stay on for a second, please.
I'm so scared.